Hi guys, so in light, or I wouldn't even say that's a proper word, but ever since learning about Christina Grimmie's murder, and the news that has come out since discussing what the motive was, how and why this guy did what he did, it really hits close to home for me. So the title of this video is really going to be like I would say, the risks of putting yourself out there. Now, for me, I only have about 10,200 subscribers, which is still really impressive for me because I never thought I would break 100. And I really thank everybody who has stuck through all the different format changes and going from being this angry guy that just, cursed about video games to a girl that talks about life and, why transgender people deserve rights. But in this particular video, I want to talk about a very real situation that has happened to me in the past year regarding a deranged fan. So, if you don't know what the story is, essentially for Christina Grimmie, there was this guy, I'm not going to say his name, but he was from, I think, St. Petersburg, St. Petersburg, Florida. And he became very obsessed with Christina to the point where he got hair plugs. He went on this entire vegan diet just to lose weight, and this whole idea that he wanted to make himself so irresistible for Christina because he believed in his mind that he was going to get married to her. It is the most fucked up and crazy way of thinking. And I only wish that his coworkers, they used to make fun of him all the time, according to news sources, they should have said something. They should have, reported his behavior to authorities. But, if we live in a world of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, plenty of things could have been prevented. But, as they say, hindsight's 2020. I mean, I'm sure, I've dealt with people where I never thought in a million years they could ever be capable of killing somebody. And then I find out that they actually end up killing people. And I've lost two people in New Jersey to gun violence. I lost a person back in March. Her boyfriend shot and killed her and then killed himself. So it was a murder-suicide. I also lost a friend from high school back in 2011 from her ex shot her in the chest, and I only saw her 3 days prior to that event. So what goes through my mind is if only I knew, if only there was something I could do or say. But, knowing somebody who later on became a murderer, it's like you can't even fathom that idea. You can't even just think, oh, well, this person seems okay. He seems pretty chill. He seems like he's not going to do anything stupid, or I don't really classify that as stupid, but insane. And then something happens, they snap and they do the unspeakable. They do something that you just don't think is even remotely possible with them. So I would say I would think December of 2014, I uploaded a video called I Hate Being Transgender. And that video attracted somebody. I'm going to call them Stephanie. Totally different name than what their actual name is. But it attracted a person named Stephanie. Now, Stephanie has one of those obsessive behaviors very similar to the person who murdered Christina. She did everything from send me large amounts of money to, when she found out where I lived, she would send me, oh God, tens. Every day I would open up the mailbox and I have 10 or so stupid random things from eBay being sent to me. She would make YouTube videos singing songs and saying that she's dedicating them to me. She would write thousands of emails. And she just would never accept no for an answer because she believed in her mind that we were destined to be together. She believed in her mind that she's the only person that's right for me and that she needs to protect me and that she needs to tell me what to do and how to do it, and that anytime she found out that I lost my job, which I lost my job on Thursday, so I'm unemployed again, but I'll make it through it like I always have. But she always managed to just, she just, it's really scary when people do this. It's like she followed me on Tumblr, she followed me on Twitter, she followed me on YouTube, and any little thing I write, I always got an email response. Like, she's like, oh, when you said this, I felt like you were speaking to me. Like, she would say crazy, insane things like that. And it got to a point where I had to get the police involved. And it's scary because I actually saw her in person once. She drove 5 hours. That's even more of a distance than what the killer of Christina Grimmie did. He only drove 2 hours. This lady drove 5 hours from LA to Las Vegas just to see me. And then she just insisted and insisted and insisted on, moving into my apartment because I was having financial trouble. And then she just, after she figured out where I lived, it was just constant, sending me shit. And of course, I'm wrong in a lot of this. Like, I'm sure there's a lot I could have done to prevent this. But, what really just set her off was when I replied to her. Because even before this whole thing got out of hand, she was sending me multiple messages on YouTube. And then once I replied to one of them, because I was in a very vulnerable spot, so I didn't use my proper judgment, and that's my fault. But I think I prolonged it further than it needed to be. Luckily, she has not sent anything or done anything, I would say, in about 6 months. There has been a few times where she'll go, completely unheard of, unknown, and then out of the blue, she'll just start sending me fucking emails again. And, we've threatened her with police interaction several times. She's actually paranoid of the police, so that's our weapon to deter her. But the moral of the story, because of how crazy she was and how she truly believed that we were destined to be together and that my opinions were not my own, that they were my roommate's opinions, this kind of shit happens to YouTubers big and small. Just because you have a small amount of YouTube followers doesn't mean you're immune to this. And that's what I want to get at with this video is be careful. Because what keeps going through my mind is that she still knows where I live. She could still come after me at any time. She could have that mentality of, if I can't have you, no one can. And I think that's the mentality that the killer of Christina had. He got to that point where he wanted her so badly that he was willing to kill her, which is so fucked up. And really is scary when you think about it, especially when you've gone through a situation where you have a stalker. And I know what you're thinking. Who the fuck wants to stalk me? Like, it's like, I'm nobody. I really am nobody. But to this person, I was everything. And it is such a scary situation. And I know I'm putting a smile on my face and I'm, not being super serious about it, but it is a very serious topic. And I think that, it's just something that's been sitting in my mind ever since I learned the motive, which they came out with the motive, I think, on Thursday. So it's been 3 days now where I've just sat on it and thought about it. My roommate, when I told her why Christina was killed, she's like, sounds a lot like Stephanie. Once she said that, I was like, holy shit, like that I could have potentially been killed. That somebody is so deranged that they could potentially kill me. And again, it stems back to that whole, well, oh no, this person can't be a murderer. They just don't have that personality. And it's one of those things where you learn about somebody in the darkest of times. And in that case, I think everybody that knew that kid, or he was 27, same age I am, I don't think any of them thought he had it in him. I don't that's usually the story every time there's a shooting, a murder, killing, whatever. It's always, I didn't think they had it in them to do that. And it's just a scary world we live in. And I think for all YouTubers out here, even if you only have like 10 subscribers, well, that's 10 potential people that could become obsessed with you, and that they could turn around and do a horrendous thing. Christina was seen by millions, and she just happened to attract that one person that was crazy enough to take her life. And I think that, you know, us as YouTubers, or even anybody that's in the entertainment business, people who are publicists, people who put their name out there, you need to be careful. You need to just think before you reply to certain people. Don't trust everything people say. And, you know, I think for the next, you know, few months to years, I think YouTubers are going to be a little bit more cautious about having fan meet and greets. So, you know, again, my heart goes out to Christina Grimmie's family. I saw the funeral photos, and her mother's devastated, like I would expect her to be. And it's like, I've been through my fair share of loss. I mean, I've been to far too many funerals, and every time it hits me harder and harder each time. Even family members that I don't even remember, or I never really met, I bawl and break out crying hysterical when I see them in the casket. So it's hard. So this will probably be the last depressing video I make for a while. I actually have a bunch of plans for future videos. I'm going to start doing vlogs. I'm going to start doing gaming videos. And then, yeah, of course, you'll see the occasional LGBT, like, activist video. But, I mean, in light of the whole Orlando shootings and the crazy things politicians have said, and even pastors, there's some scary, fucked up shit being said by pastors that believe, oh, this is okay. You know, these people deserve to die because they were pedophiles, even though pedophilia and LGBT are not one and the same, even though some fucked up people like to make that connection that doesn't exactly exist. And then on a side note, people were saying these are sunglasses. They're not sunglasses. I have what's called photophobia. It's not a fear of light. It's actually ultra sensitivity to light. So these glasses have FL41 lenses. So they're a special tint that actually blocks bluish, purplish light. I can perfectly see the same colors. They're just a slight tint to them. But yeah, they basically, if you could see, like, that's just what it is. It just makes it easier for me to not have to, like, get headaches and take painkillers. So I'm going to sign off on this. Be careful, people. I don't want to see another YouTuber get murdered. I don't want to see that. It's sad enough, you know, where, you know, young, bright, talented, caring people get killed. It crushes me. It really does, because it's like this world is full of too much senseless violence, people killing people for the dumbest reasons, people who are so crazy and deranged that they feel like, I know you because I watch you through the YouTubes. And it's just like, that kind of shit's scary. It really is. And especially when you go through it personally. I've gone through it. Luckily, I didn't get to the point where Christina did, where somebody actually killed her. I'm glad that no one actually killed me. So take care, guys. Look out for future videos. Stay safe and have a good day.